Hi, I'm Bob, and welcome to Between the Sheets, where we look at Microsoft Excel and related technologies. We've been able to insert images onto an Excel worksheet for a long time, but in the 365 editions, Excel now has a function for it. Why is this helpful? Well, it lets you insert images from a list or database. The images get fully contained in their own cells, and you can control the size by plugging in width and height values. So let's take a look, see how it works. So here's the syntax. Say equals image, open the parenthesis, and we have a bunch of arguments. But the function has only one required argument, and that is the URL. As of the current version, it can't be a local file on your computer. It must be a fully qualified web address starting with HTTPS. If you use regular HTTP without the S, the function will throw a pound blocked error. So there are 5 more arguments that are optional, but you'll probably want to use them. There's alt text in case the image goes missing, and then there's the sizing method, which I'll talk in detail in a moment, and then there's the height and width. And no, I didn't make a mistake. For some reason, this function puts the height before the width, which of course is not a standard thing to do. I don't know if Microsoft is going to fix that or not. So let's talk about those sizing options. There's 4 options, starting with 0. So 0 is the default, so if you don't specify any sizing option, this is what the function will use. It will always show the full image. Since it's in proportion, there might be extra space in the cell where the image doesn't fit, maybe top and bottom, or maybe on the side. Now with number 1, no matter how big or small you make the cell, the image will completely fill it. So there's a good chance of the image being out of proportion. If you use 2, the image will probably be too big for the cell, so you probably rarely use that. And with 3, you can make it any size and proportion you want. That's where you use the height and width arguments. I'll just go down over here to the cell, and I'm going to start with just the image URL and none of the options. This is an image on my website, so I'm going to say equals image, open the parenthesis, and you have to put it in double quotes. Whenever you put something in an Excel formula that's not a number or a cell reference, it has to go in quotes. So I'm just going to paste that in, and you see it's a ping file. Close a quote, close a parenthesis, empty it, and it's pretty small. So I can try making the column bigger, making the row bigger, so you can get a sense of what that is. So this is an AI-generated image of what it would look like if a bunch of cats took a selfie. Okay, so let's go in there, edit that, and I'm going to go to the end. After the closing quotation mark, I'm going to put in the alt attribute, and I'll just say the alt attribute is the word selfie. And close the quote, enter it, that's fine, nothing has changed, probably didn't expect anything to change. Okay, now let's go in, and after that alt attribute, I'm going to comma, and I'm going to use 0 as the sizing option, and also it didn't change because 0 is the default. Okay, let's use sizing option number 1. So let's get rid of that 0. I'm going to put in 1, which is fill the cell. You saw that in the little drop down, enter it. So now what's going to happen is, let's say if I make that column really wide, you see the image still fills the cell, but you can see it's out of proportion. Or if I make that cell really tall and narrow, also it completely fills the cell, but you see it's out of proportion. So let me shrink that a little bit. Now let me go and use option number 2. And that's going to make the image the original size. But that image is way too big, so you see you're getting just a tiny little bit of it. So that's not really useful. To display that whole image, I'd have to make the column and row really huge. So that's really not going to be something we want to do here. So let's go and edit again. And I'm going to change that to a 3. And this is where we can give it a custom size. Now, I'll put in the original default actual size. So after that 3, I just happen to know this is my image. This is 852 pixels high by 1344 pixels wide. So I'm going to close that, enter it. You see there's no change. But now what I could do is, rather than hard coding those numbers in, let's create a little table up here. So I'm going to say maybe over here. I'll say here's height and width. Yeah, I know it's really weird doing this out of order. And we're going to make that 100%. So the original values, as we saw, 852 and 1344. Now what we could do is we'll just do a little multiplication. So we're going to say equals that times that 100%. I'm going to make that an absolute reference. And now autofill it down here. So now what I could do is say, all right, what if I wanted it at 50%? So I'll make that 50. So I see what those values are. Now I can go in here, and instead of hard coding that, I'm going to say F2 for the height and F3 for the width. And now you see a little bit less of that. Now I don't have to keep editing the formula. I could just take that, okay, instead of 50%, let's try 25%. And now we can see a little bit more of it. Well, what about 10%? Not bad. Well, we can make that a little bit bigger. Well, maybe 12% is what we want. And you can see you could keep playing with it over and over until you get the amount that you want. And by being able to plug those values into the formula, you can experiment with different proportions. The image function is terrific if you're keeping track of inventory, people in your headshots, screenshots of software or websites, or your collection of cats. So until next time, my name is Bob, and this has been Between the Sheets.